So if the glue method didn't work for you, here's a quick tutorial on how to do a stencil with scissors. I'm just going to use a piece of computer paper and do an old school heart where on the folded side, I'm going to draw my little heart using scissors. Cut that out. And if you look at the image on the top, the negative space is the hole that was removed. This is my positive space. So think of this as the glued area where you're masking out your image. So now with my silkscreen that has marker on it, but it won't matter because this marker isn't ink, it's not masking anything. I'm going to lay this on top of my blue fabric. My blue fabric has some cardboard underneath, so I know my work surface is flat. And I'm going to take my red ink, put that off to the side. I ran out of popsicle sticks. And then notice the most important thing is that this doesn't move. So I'm just going to add even pressure, push that through the screen maybe 2 times, and then I can scrape that off. Sorry, scrape that off in there. And as I lift it, the stencil paper will stick to the screen because the ink is sticking it. And there's my heart. And notice my edges are nice and clean. Now, what if you don't have red ink, but you want to do something red? You can do the opposite and print the positive space or the negative space on, say you have a red shirt, to do a red heart. So how do you do that? Instead, let me just push this down here. So here is my heart. I'm going to take this and cut around it. And I'm only using the same paper because I know that it's going to be outside of my heart. Now I'm just cutting a starburst. You can cut any shape. So now this is my outside edge. I would use clean paper. I'm just doing this for the sake of speed. So now whatever color ink, let's say you have blue ink, I'm going to print blue in there, but I still want my heart to be red. So now I'm going to take my heart that I originally cut out and mask out that area by just placing that right in the middle or wherever you want. Imagine your screen is clean. I'm not concerned with mixing colors. So I'm going to lay that flat. Put my ink again off to the side. I'm going to start scraping. Now this nylon moves quite a bit, so I want to make sure to hold it as tightly as I can and add enough pressure so the ink goes through the screen, but not so much pressure that my nylon is going to move. Now again, scrape that in there. I'm going to lift this so the paper will stick to the screen, and my heart masked it out. Now there was a little bit of bleeding because remember I was going over it a couple times and I didn't hit the ink over there, but now my heart is red because my paper or your shirt is red and I have an outline shape. If I did not do this starburst outline shape, and let's say I just print on a plain piece of paper, place that down there. Let's do the blue. So now I'm going to get a white heart. Look what happens. Lift that up. So the heart stuck to the screen to mask it out. I have my heart, but now I have this kind of messy outside shape. So that's why I went ahead and cut. And again, this can be any shape, but this is another way to do this. One other thing I want to show you really quickly. One last thing. Because I only cut it as it was folded. Let's say you do a design. I'm just going to draw a random squiggly. I can cut from the edge of the page. And I'm not even going to follow my lines, just again, because I'm trying to do this quickly. Okay. So now if I want to print this, I can just tape. I'll do it under here so you can see better. Ah. I can just put tape on that cut edge and the tape will mask out my design. So now I'm going to peel this heart out. Again, imagine your screen is nice and clean, doesn't have ink on it. I'm going to lay that on there. Go back to my blue. So this is how we normally screen print in the classroom, where you just reuse a blank screen over and over on paper stencils. But we use an X-Acto knife to cut out really detailed stencils, which is in my TikTok video, which is the dog. But you can use scissors and get much cleaner edges if you're good with scissors. And again, here's the stencil that I just cut. And I could repeat that image over and over to do a pattern or whatever you want to do, multiple shirts.